Hi, it's Karl Brauer and I'm here with the brand new 2022 Volvo C40. This is Volvo's first dedicated electric vehicle. And while it uses some elements of existing models like the XC40's drivetrain, this is a dedicated crossover vehicle designed as an electric vehicle from the ground up. This particular one uses an electric motor that produces 402 horsepower and 486 pound-feet of torque, and it provides a 226-mile range based off of a 78 kilowatt-hour battery, of which 75 kilowatt-hours are usable. Now, we've driven this vehicle around the Palm Springs area, and it's been extremely fun to drive. It handles well, it's very quick, it's got all that great instant torque that you expect from a pure electric vehicle, but it's also got very comfortable seats, and maybe the most exciting thing is the Google operating system. This Google operating system lets you use all the advantages that you would expect to get from Google. That means everything from Google Assistant to your mail to your calendar. Probably what's best though is that it actually has voice recognition that finally works. We've heard the promise of voice recognition in modern cars for probably about 20 years, and none of them have really worked very well. This one does work. You put in an address just as you would tell your friend an address, and it picks it all up and puts it into the nav system perfectly. So this Android-based Google system that's really showed up first in Volvos is now migrating to other vehicles. It's really wired in this car. I would say that's almost as much or more exciting than the pure EV element of this vehicle. But the company is intending to go all electric by 2030, and it's cars like this C40 that are going to get them there. This is not considered an SUV. This is considered a traditional crossover from Volvo. And you can see it's got very aggressive rear swoop that not only makes it aerodynamic and helps with the electric range because it's not burning as much energy to cut through the air, but also gives it still a fairly useful cargo area behind the second row seat. You've got these standard 20-inch wheels. This is a great paint scheme I like. I love this shade of blue, and lots of room in this back seat here. If you do need cargo, you got your power operated hatch here and a good chunk of cargo space here, even without folding those rear seats down. So while it may not be an SUV, the crossover design still allows for a lot of practicality and functionality, flexibility with this vehicle, along with its advanced drivetrain that makes it an electric car. The user interface is probably my favorite aspect of this vehicle. It is Google Android based. That's been an exciting development within the automotive industry. We've seen a lot of improvement in interfaces across the entire industry, but not surprisingly, Google, probably the best one. They've got the experience. And you look down here at your touchscreen and you've got all the icons you would be expecting to see from a Google system, right? Google Play, Google Assistant, Google Maps, and they all work exactly as you would expect them to work, like they would on your phone. All the familiarity, all the functionality, and again, best of all, the voice assistant really does work. It understands natural language. You don't even have to hit a button. You say something like, "Hey Google, show me the closest Chinese restaurants."
Showing results for show me the closest Chinese restaurants.
How's that? That's what you want. That's where you're going to drive down the road and you're not going to be taking your hands off the wheel and fumbling with your phone or even with the touchscreen, because you can ask questions and get answers that easily. Android's going to be a great development for every car that gets it, and I'm glad to see Volvo already incorporating it this effectively in the new C40.